Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're taking you into a story of absolute desperation. A story where the smallest, most innocent pleasure becomes the ultimate and, well, the ultimate fatal currency. Our sources drop us right into Paris during a really brutal siege. It's a clear, cold January morning, but the clarity of the sky, it just highlights the grim reality on the ground.
And it is grim. I mean, this is a city that is totally blocked off. It's starving. It's in a state of utter collapse.
Right.
We aren't talking about like simple rationing. We are talking about genuine famine. The accounts we have, they detail sparrows being hunted to near extinction on the rooftops.
Wow.
Yeah, and people are reduced to searching the sewers just to find something, anything to eat. The desperation it's physical. It's immediate.
And in this bleak landscape, on an outer boulevard, two figures meet. First, there's M. Morisot. He's a watchmaker, a serious man, in the uniform, hands jammed deep in his pockets. You can just feel that gnawing hunger. Then he runs into M. Sauvage, a haberdasher, usually known for being plump, jovial. But today, his face just reflects the same misery everyone else feels.
And they recognize each other instantly, but it's this sad reunion.
It is. It's not joyful.
No. And what's truly essential to understand right away is the quality of their friendship before all this, before the war.
Okay.
It wasn't built on business or politics or anything like that. It was built on this shared, almost fanatical silence.
Fanatical silence. Tell us more about that.
Every single Sunday, without fail, they'd go fishing. Same spot. Il Morante near Colombe.
So they spent half their lives together, just lines in the water.
Exactly. And their connection was almost entirely nonverbal. They understood each other through shared sensation,
Right. It wasn't about what they said.
Precisely. If they spoke at all, it was just to confirm the perfect harmony of the moment. Like in the warmth of spring, Morceau might say, que sir, what softness, what a pleasure.
And Sauvage would just reply,
Perfectly in tune. Je ne connais rien de meilleur. I know nothing better. Or, when an autumn sunset turned the sky scarlet, it was just as simple. Quel spectacle! Cela vaut mieux que le boulevard.
What a sight. This is better than the boulevard, huh?
Their bond was defined by what the world was when they were together, not by what they had to say about it.
And now, here they are, forced back into the chaos of the city. Their handshake is surprisingly energetic. It's this emotional surge of relief.
Yeah, but it's immediately followed by these heavy sighs. Sauvage just kind of murmurs, En voilà des événements. What events, as they look around at the misery.
And he points out the terrible irony that it's finally a beautiful day, full of light, the first truly nice day since the siege began.
So our deep dive mission today is to explore this intense contradiction. How did this profound, silent longing for the peace of the riverbank drive two ordinary men to disregard the absolute danger of war and make a reckless, fatal decision?
And what does their final, costly silence reveal about human dignity when you're faced with absolute coercion?
That's the core of it.
Okay, so let's unpack this crucial turning point. They start walking, sadly, and Morisot, he's the more serious one, he brings up the memory that's haunting them. Et la pêche, hein? Quel bon souvenir.
That fishing, what a good memory.
And Sauvage, who is, maybe a little more impulsive, he immediately asks the question that changes everything. Quand y retournerons-nous? When will we return?
And this is just a classic example of desperation meeting nostalgia, isn't it? They're physically deprived, and the only antidote their brains can conjure up is this memory of absolute peace, of plenty.
So they stop for a drink.
Okay.
Absinthe. And this is where the rashness really begins.
Yeah, this is the catalyst. They stop and order a glass of absinthe, the green, they call it.
And we should be clear, for you listening, this is the classic, potent, greenish liquor. On empty stomachs, the effect would have been immediate and powerful.
So powerful that Morisot immediately suggests a second one. And that second glass is the permission slip. But it's a desperate, intoxicated courage. They come out onto the sidewalks, they're dizzy, lightheaded, and that warm breeze they'd noticed earlier, it now feels amplified, almost seductive.
The world suddenly shifts from impossible to maybe attainable.
Exactly. And it's the sheer recklessness of the move that's so fascinating. Sauvage, he's fueled by that warm air and the liquor, and he just stops and blurts out the proposal. Si on y allait?
What if we actually went? Morisot asks where, and Sauvage points them toward their island. El Marant.
Right. And he tries to rationalize it. He says, the French outposts near Colombes will let them pass because he knows a Colonel Dumoulin.
And more so.
He doesn't even hesitate. The sources say he trembles, not with fear, but with this pure, intense desire for that simple return. He agrees instantly. C'est dit, j'en suis.
It's settled. I'm in.
The whole journey is launched by 2 glasses of liquor and this desperate craving for innocence.
They quickly gather their gear. They manage to get a laissez-passer from this Colonel Dumoulin, who he smiles at their fantasy.
He sees it as this harmless, absurd whim.
Yeah.
A mid-war caprice.
Well, but for the fishermen, this is a pilgrimage. They set off, holding their fishing rods like anchors to their old lives. They pass the outposts. They traverse this abandoned, totally silent Colombes, and they reach the edge of the Seine. It's about 11:00 a.m.
And now they are officially in the conflict zone.
And the atmosphere it shifts entirely.
Completely. The landscape is profoundly empty. They look out over this deserted plain towards Nanterre. They see bare cherry trees, gray earth. But looming over it all are the heights of Orgemont and Saint-Ouen. And Sauvage points, les Prussiens sont là-haut.
The Prussians are up there. This is the moment the war stops being rumor, isn't it? It starts being a terrifying physical presence.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Up until now, the enemy has been this invisible force, ruining France, pillaging, starving Paris. But seeing those heights, knowing that the victorious unknown enemy is perched right there watching, it creates this mix of profound hate and almost superstitious terror.
And you see Morceau's real anxiety finally surface. He asks, si nous allions se rencontrer?
Yeah.
What if we actually run into them?
And Sauvage, he tries to deploy some of that old Parisian wit. He jokes that they'd offer the Prussians their fried fish, but the joke it falls totally flat.
Right, it just hangs in the air.
Yeah, against the vast, intimidating silence of that horizon, the joke is meaningless. They're scared.
So they proceed, but now with extreme caution. They descend into a vineyard, hunched over, crawling, using every bush for cover, their eyes just darting everywhere.
To cross the last patch of exposed earth, they have to sprint. They just run for it, finally collapsing, relieved, into the thick, dry reeds by the riverbank. They're completely hidden.
And more so, he puts his ear to the ground, listens, hears nothing. And they confirm that feeling of safety. We are quite alone, all alone.
And this sense of profound solitude. It allows for the miracle.
The miracle.
They begin to fish. They're shielded by the abandoned El Mirante across the way. And the sources describe the catch as miraculous. They're pulling up these small silver fish gudgeon and bleak one after another. The net pocket dipping in the water, it just fills up rapidly.
And this is where it gets really interesting for me. For this brief golden period, their joy is absolute.
Totally absolute.
They forgot the world, they forgot the cannon fire, they forgot everything that existed outside of that shared silent moment. The sun is warming their shoulders, and they're simply who they were before the war.
But that peace is so fragile, it's intrinsically fragile, and suddenly a deep subterranean tremor shakes the ground.
It's the Mont Valérien cannon.
Roaring back to life.
Morceau looks up, and he sees this huge silhouette of the fortress. Now it's capped with a white aigrette. This mist of powder that slowly rises into the calm sky. Then another boom, and another.
And this external violence just violently shatters the internal peace they had managed to find.
The anger that this intrusion causes is profound, isn't it?
It is. Morceau is holding a small fish, and he seizes on this moment of interruption to voice the rage of a fundamentally peaceful man.
Faut-il être stupide pour se tuer comme ça? One must be stupid to kill one another like that.
And he concludes bitterly that war is inevitable. Tant qu'il y aura des gouvernements, as long as there are governments.
He connects their misery, their personal misery, directly to the political structure. Sauvage tries to hold the line for his side, arguing the Republic wouldn't have started this war.
But Morceau just cuts through it all with this truly fatalistic generalization. He says, with kings, we have external war. With the Republic, we have internal war. It's such a dark, fatalistic analysis. It connects their private misery to this vast, crushing political machine that's rowing over their heads.
And they conclude with what the sources call sane reason, that they will never truly be free, no matter what banner is flying above them. They just sit there while Mont Valérien roars, crushing lives and dreams nearby.
And Sauvage tries to accept it. He says, c'est la vie, that's life.
And Morceau gives his final prophetic correction, laughing darkly.
Dis plutôt que c'est la mort.
Say rather that it is death.
What's so chilling about that moment is the profound, instant irony. They speak of death.
And death instantly appears.
Yes, that laughter stops immediately. They feel footsteps behind them. They turn, and they see four enormous bearded men, armed, dressed like liveried servants, rifles pointed directly at them.
The moment is over. Just like that, their lines, utterly abandoned, just float sadly down the river.
They're instantly seized, bound, thrown into a boat, and ferried across the Seine to their sanctuary El Morant.
Their safe place. And behind that little abandoned house, they find 20 German soldiers waiting. The simplicity of their escape is just. It's utterly demolished.
The interrogation is immediate and calculated. The officer in charge is described as a hairy giant, smoking a porcelain pipe, who speaks surprisingly excellent French.
And he greets them with this mocking tone. Eh bien, messieurs, avez-vous fait bonne pêche? Well, gentlemen, did you have a good catch?
And to just rub salt in the wound, a soldier places their full net of beautiful silver fish, the fruit of their stolen bliss, right at the officer's feet.
That small pile of wriggling fish, it becomes the symbol of everything they just lost.
Everything. And the officer's logic is just cold and efficient. He labels them spies, using fishing as a cover, and instantly declares they will be shot because c'est la guerre, it's war.
But then comes the twist, the real psychological test. He offers them life if they provide the password. The password to get back through the French outposts.
Yeah.
I'm just stunned by his immediate jump to execution and then this offer. I mean, if they were really military spies, wouldn't he want more information first?
You'd think so, right?
Yeah. Why the urgency to offer them life for just a password? He could probably get through other means.
Because the goal here isn't just military intelligence. I don't think it is. It's psychological annihilation. He's already broken their freedom. Now he wants to break their dignity, their bond. He needs to confirm his total power over them. So he makes the stakes absolute and immediate. Life, contingent on one word of betrayal. It's a direct appeal to their survival instinct.
And the friends.
Yeah.
They stand side by side, deathly pale, their hands twitching with nervous tremors. But they hold fast, they say nothing, they uphold the power of silence.
The officer uses every tactic. He assures them nobody will ever know. He tries to make it seem like a small secret thing.
And when that doesn't work,
he shifts to outright fear. He gestures to the river. In 5 minutes, you will be at the bottom of that water. 5 minutes, you must have relatives.
And all the while, Mont Valérien is still thundering in the background.
Yeah.
An active reminder that life is cheap right now.
But the fisherman stands silent.
Motionless. The silence continues, and the German gives orders in his own language. 12 men line up, 20 steps away. The officer moves his chair back, just physically distancing himself from the impending violence.
And he gives them one final chance. I give you 1 minute, not 2 seconds more.
He even tries to break their decades-long bond, doesn't he? He takes Morceau aside, promises to look compassionate, demands the password secretly, assuring him Sauvage will never know.
Morceau refuses. Then he tries Sauvage. Sauvage refuses. They choose their shared private dignity over the immediate, terrifying reality of those guns.
They're placed back together. The officer commands the soldiers to raise their arms. And in that final frozen moment, Morceau's gaze falls. Not on the guns, but on that net. That net full of silver fish still wriggling slightly in the grass nearby, gleaming in the sun.
And that sight, the symbol of the simple, innocent life they were so desperate to get back, that's what finally breaks Morceau. It's not the fear of the bullets. His eyes just fill with tears at the loss of that simple pleasure, that impossible, stolen moment of peace.
He whispers the final farewell. It's so simple, but so profound. Adieu, Monsieur Sauvage.
And Sauvage replies, Adieu, Monsieur Morceau. They shake hands, trembling violently from head to foot.
The officer screams, Feu!
And the 12 shots sound as one. Sauvage drops instantly. Morceau, who is slightly taller, he stumbles, he pivots, and he falls across his friend, blood surging from his chest.
The brutality is swift, but the final, devastating insult is yet to come. The Mont Valérien is still roaring now. It's crowned with a mountain of smoke. The soldiers retrieve ropes and heavy stones, tying them to the feet of the two dead men.
They lift the bodies, they swing them hard, and they launch them into the Seine. They plunge downward, feet first, the stones dragging them quickly out of sight. The water boils, then it calms, leaving just a tiny patch of blood floating on the surface.
And here's the truly devastating, chilling command that just summarizes the dehumanization of war.
Yeah.
The officer, completely serene, he looks at the river and says, C'est le tour des poissons maintenant. It is the fish's turn now. He has literally treated these men as bait.
That line, it's the definition of casual administrative cruelty. What does it tell us about the dehumanizing effect of war on the captor, that he can treat human beings and a batch of fish with the same cold indifference?
It shows the total erasure of their individual existence. They are mere logistical problems. Solved. But he's not quite finished.
No.
He spots the net of still wriggling gudgeons in the grass. He calls a soldier named Wilhelm, who's wearing a white apron, and he throws the catch at him. And he gives his final chilling command. Fry me those little animals right away while they're still alive. That will be delicious. And then he resumes smoking his pipe.
Their dignity is crushed, and their one moment of joy is now his immediate casual dinner.
So what does this all mean for you? We've followed two perfectly average men who stepped out of their starving city for one simple, innocent pleasure, only to be caught and coerced by forces so far beyond their control. They died not for a grand political cause. They weren't soldiers. They weren't revolutionaries. They died for the private, silent integrity of their shared escape route.
And their earlier fatalistic political discussion that they would never be truly free, crushed between these warring structures, it was horrifyingly prophetic. In the end, their final act wasn't political. It was a profound personal statement.
How so?
They were asked to betray the exact mechanism, the trust, the silence, the dignity that had defined their friendship and allowed them to achieve freedom, even if it was only for half an hour.
Right.
They chose the absolute cost of dignity over the immediate price of life.
Maupassant and Sauvage prove that even in circumstances of total duress, silence can be a powerful and irreversible choice. So what, in your own life, is the value, the core piece of connection, the unstated bond, the piece of dignity that you would protect with absolute costly silence, even when the choice is life or death?
That's a heavy question.
It is, and that's our question for you as we close this deep dive.